Welcome to Season 3 of John McGivern's Main Streets.
Now that's stupid.
The Main Streets podcast takes you behind the scenes of this popular TV program. As we explore great communities across the Midwest on the show each week, you can come here to get the inside scoop from host John and Emmy and the Main Streets producer and director Lois Maurer. Listen in as they recount some of their favorite memories from filming and the interesting stories that you won't find anywhere else. We've got lots to share with you from John McGivern's Main Street Season 3. To watch the show, check your local listings. It's also available to stream on the free PBS video app on Roku, Apple TV, and other digital devices, smart TVs, and everywhere you stream TV. John McGivern's Main Streets is produced by Plum Media in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hi, Emmy. Hello,
Hi,
Lois.
John. Hi, John.
We're talking the 12th episode, which is really the last episode as far as where we traveled to,
Right.
because our 13th episode is going to be a studio episode where we're going to kind of recap and talk about the season, and we'll do that in the studio. So Madison, Wisconsin, was our final episode of Season 3.
And wasn't it nice to be, I mean, we still stayed overnight there, but wasn't it nice to be closer to home and in a place that we kind of really know?
That we do know.
We know it very well because our distributor, PBS Wisconsin, is out of Madison.
Right.
And so John and I go there, often enough to do things with PBS Wisconsin. And when I said we were going to do Madison, this was also the episode we had our bus tour with us. So
if you don't know, we have a bus tour that goes where John goes. So they went to places that we were at last season. Mm-hmm. So this coming up bus tour will go where we went Season 3.
Right.
But what happens is that the final night of their bus tour, they join us wherever we're shooting that episode, and it happened to be in Madison. And what happens is that I do a private show for the 40 to 80 people that come on these bus tours, and then they show up the following morning where they are part of the final segment or one of the segments of that episode, which happened to be the studios of Wisconsin PBS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Such a cool insight for them. I mean, to see your show, to get to meet you, and then kind of see how the inner workings of a TV studio are run.
Yeah, it was odd because, you're in the PBS Wisconsin studios to us, which is just what we do, and it's kind of old hat. And you kind of think, what? These people are going to be bored to death. And every one of them afterwards, I always talk to everybody, and they were like, this was the coolest thing. I kind of forget. It's like us going into any manufacturer where people work, where we're like, oh my gosh, this is the neatest thing. And they're like, I'm just doing my job.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to see other people kind of either appreciate what you do or just get insight into what it is that we do.
So Chris, and his wife, who have been on, this was their second bus tour. I happened to do a tour of the Knickerbocker, which is where I live in Milwaukee, and I did a tour of that for Historic Milwaukee, and they came on that tour as well. But they said, oh, this is cool, but the coolest thing, PBS Wisconsin.
Oh,
the
that's
tour
cool.
of that studio, and I was like, did you like my house? But
that's cool.
They said that was really cool,
Oh,
and
I'm so
the
glad.
fact that they could see what it's like to make television, and to see like every area of what goes into it. So people enjoy it, and as you said, it's kind of like what?
Right, because we're so used to it. But what I thought was cool was that at PBS Wisconsin, the interview was you talking to another television host. They do a show called Wisconsin Life, and their host is Angela Fitzgerald.
Right.
And that was fun to see John talk to Angela. We weren't talking to the GM or another producer. It was host to host.
Right.
And so that was kind of fun.
And it's funny how we do our show differently.
Yes.
So we just chat. And her format is different. So she's like, the questions, are there going to be, what are the questions? And I'm like, what are the questions? It's going to be like, where'd you get those shoes? It's like whatever comes up is what we're going to talk about. She's like, oh,
Right.
okay. let's
because
see how
her
this works.
format is different.
Yeah.
They have scripted questions, or they have,
Right.
memorize. We did promos. Do you remember? We did promos for the season as well. And it was like, here's your script and here's your script. And at some point I'm like, well, guys, just go back and forth for the ones that we're going to do. And you could tell she was like, wait, what?
Well, John
Like,
takes
just
a
try
look at
it.
a script, and it can be 30 seconds long, and he looks at it one time, and he's like, yep, I got it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
And Angela was like, oh, can you roll the prompter? I mean, it's just different.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
She's great though, and she has a really good show.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that we could share a moment around. Now this will play on on PBS stations all over, but those who watch her show
Yeah.
certainly watch our show as well. So it'll
Yeah.
be fun
Right.
to see us together, I think. So that was fun, and it was fun that we had our tour there as well. We
Yeah.
could not do Madison without doing the state capitol.
Yeah, you really have to. And we forget, now that we've traveled a lot of places, our capital, you guys, is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah, it is.
really gorgeous. And we who live here take it for granted because in fourth grade, you go. And when your children are in fourth grade, you go. Or when you're protesting something, you go. But do you ever just go and do the tour?
You should.
I
Our
haven't.
capital's got awesome history, and it's
Yeah.
got incredible stories to tell about how it was built and when it was built. And,
The number of stone, different types of stone,
Oh,
and
it's incredible.
when it was completed, and what was the plan, and it was the
Right.
the size of the dome, and it was all really.
And there's like rules in Madison, there cannot be any building ever higher than the
Right.
Capitol. It's like in our laws or something.
I do like that.
Yeah.
The visitors here, they're not just Wisconsin people, they're people from all over the world, I'm sure.
We have the pleasure to meet people internationally. It would assist if I knew 4 languages. When
The 3 that you know are enough, Chris? A badger. Are there a few of these in the building?
a few.
How many?
1,800 is what somebody has counted. On each door, there are 2. 750 doors carry the one 1,500 right there, yes.
And we should mention that there's so much to Madison, but the focus really of this show was the State Street of Madison.
very
because
good. You're
Madison
right.
is so big.
Yep.
So
And
one end was the Capitol, and
Right.
the other end?
the Union. Right?
Right.
Or are you thinking basketball?
No, you don't. Well, the university.
Right. Yeah.
Both.
University on one end.
And
Capitol
you and
on
I
the
got
other.
to go and sit in the great big
Hey, we had-
iconic Union chair.
We had fun.
We had so much fun. I mean, so I used to live in Madison and lived there for a long time. I still work
You
in
still
Madison,
work out of
so I
Madison.
go to Madison probably twice a week.
Yeah.
And there's just something about going down to the Union.
You did something for me in this episode that I need to thank you for, which you probably have no idea.
I don't.
And that is that I have a problem doing stand-ups with people around. Like if there's a boatload of people around me, standing there watching me do my prepared stand-up,
Right.
I hate it so much. We did a stand-up, and we did our thing together, and there were people all over. But the fact that it was us doing it, it made no difference to me that there were people all around.
Oh,
and it was
you're
like, okay,
so
I have to
sweet.
take a lesson from, and you don't mind doing, the more people around you, the better. You love a crowd. And I am a performer
That's
in
why it's
real
so-
life. And for me to do it, I hate it. Unless it's a stage with 600 people in front of me, I don't like to be on the street with a camera because people all stop and I always feel like I'm in the way.
That's what it really is. It's not that you don't mind people looking at you or watching you. It's that you feel we're the imposers. These people want to walk on this street and we're in their way. These people want to go in this store and we're in their way. And I always say to him, we are here making television. They'll go around us, John.
Right.
They'll go around
Right.
us. But,
Or they'll sit and watch us, which is what they really want.
and he hates that.
Right,
So he
right.
feels like he's inconveniencing people.
But we were on the, what's it called, where I had to do the stand-up about the chairs.
Yes,
And
on the terrace.
On the terrace.
Memorial Union
and
Terrace.
it was packed.
Yeah.
And
when
all
you-
eyes are locking on you. I mean, I know you felt it, but it's like there's nothing going.
You know
People
why?
are
They
just
wanna know,
talking.
and all
They're
they really
drinking
care
their
is
beer.
what's going on.
Right.
So I'm like, that's low pressure. Who
my
cares?
God.
They just
I
want
walked
to know
out
what's
there
going
and I
on.
thought, I cannot do this. I don't want to do this. I hate to do this. Why am I doing this? And You were standing right there. You were with us, and it was like and it's like I get nervous around it. I get nervous around doing it, and it was all like 20-year-olds.
So none of them knew who you were, so what's the pressure? It's not like they were judging you. They don't know you.
But once we sat in that big chair, it was great fun.
Oh, we had the best time.
I thought you were going to thank her for getting on the paddleboard so that I didn't have to
So
ask
you didn't have to? I
I would never have anyway.
I had to beg Evan and beg Lois. I'm like, we have to do something on hoofers because that's their outdoor activity. I mean, anything like outdoor adventure happens in hoofers. Sailing, mountaineering, hiking,
Camping.
horseback riding.
Yes,
oh,
it's
it's
got it
amazing.
all.
And you and Evan set it up so I could go out.
But how
paddleboarding.
cute and kind and nice and well-spoken Dan. Was that Dan Dunn? Was it
The one you spoke to.
Yes.
the one that I spoke to?
Yes.
Yes.
And really had such a vibrant sort of way around him. Perfect.
And would have let you do anything. He's
Right.
like, you want me to set up this big giant floaty thing? Do you want me to do this? And we're like,
I know.
And
no,
then
we just
you
want
went
to
out on the
paddleboard.
paddleboard. And
Yeah.
Did you have your mic on?
I did. Gail was a little worried. I'm like, Gail, give me some credit.
Well,
I'm
the
not
other the guy you went out with had his mic on too, and all it takes is one wave, and you're screwed.
Which, there's no waves until these guys, our crew, comes out on their boat because they,
Yeah, we had a chase boat. It was so
they have to
fun.
get the B-roll and we're too far from shore.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa! I definitely had a moment. I hope that makes it into the bloopers because, I'm sure Gail thought she was really going to lose another one in the drink.
Right.
But the university stuff wasn't hard. It was easy. We did PBS Wisconsin this year, and I know you said you don't like, the university stuff, but we also did the dairy story.
No, but can I tell you, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't
and you know
bad.
why?
Yeah.
Because you
Set up
you
parking.
are the producer of this one, and
I
you
am.
did it alone. And you,
Evan helped me.
you made it so that we got a parking spot everywhere we went.
Right.
We weren't like inconvenienced by those students.
All the students were there. We just kind of, and
They
I
were.
know Madison. I spend time there too,
Right.
so I already know how to get around it, and all of that. So
The
And
Dairy Barn was our thing together.
Oh, that was so fun.
Was it good?
If you know Madison, you know Babcock Ice Cream. And you got us back into the plant where we got to see it all being made. I mean, we had the white coats, we had the hairnets, we had the booties on
We
our
were
shoes.
doctors.
You were not doctors, you were ice cream tasters.
Doctors.
Yes, yes, we were, and it was delicious.
We
and
got
it
to
was-
stand in that overhead sort of watching it all coming.
Right, like we
Well,
were the
where
food
you didn't
science
get to go
researchers.
was on day one. Brian and I got to go to the dairy barn, and
With
we
the
went and
cows.
watched with the cows. In the middle of this university,
Yeah.
there are, I cannot remember how many, but there's like 80 cows that live
Unbelievable.
right there in the middle of campus. And they get milked, twice a day, and they're happy as can be. And that milk literally makes the ice cream for Babcock, and they do it all right there.
I've never heard of that ice cream before.
No?
No, never heard of it.
No kidding.
No, because do they sell it in Milwaukee?
No, they sell.
No, they sell it there.
They sell it at Madison.
And that's
in
the only
the
place.
Union.
That's the
Yeah.
only place. So it's
There
only
may
sold.
be a couple
in-
other little
Maybe
places
like,
that they sell it to in Madison.
in Madison, like the grocery stores.
Yeah.
But right, you wouldn't see it here.
No, never heard
so,
of it.
yeah, that
so I
makes
was like,
sense.
Babcock, I don't know, but you were like you knew it.
Oh, right.
And
well,
it's part of their food science program, right?
Right.
So it's part of their agriculture school and their food science program, and so it's all intermingled. But I think when you think UW-Madison, you think Badgers, football, you think engineering, right? You think communications, PBS Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure you're probably not thinking about the cows.
No.
So that's why I wanted to do that story.
Food science. Yeah.
It was
cool.
just a really nice way to end the on location episodes because it was our final on location episode.
Now, State Street itself is a challenge, though. I will tell you that. The whole premise of this was Capitol on one and University on the other, and what's in the middle? What do you find along
Art?
it? You find a lot of art.
You do. Like it's funny to make television and to get on, to get out of the crew van, and what's planned doesn't happen, but what happens is better than what's planned.
Right.
That's great.
Yep.
Right.
We like to call that the universe has your back. I do, and I've told you that before, too.
You call it
works
what?
out.
The universe has your back.
Oh, there you go.
It's just like,
It all works out the way
it all
should.
works out.
That's parking they call McGivern luck, just so you know.
Oh, well, there's other McGivern luck, You always have a lot of good cooperation when John's around. I'm telling you, you'd be driving
Except
down.
for me.
Well,
We were
the
excluding
luck
you.
is about you and not is you. It's when John's with you, things tend to work out. They do. That's
So we
true.
need to be around him more. I like that.
Oh, I don't think he wants us around him anymore.
No, please, no. Remember Rob DZ?
Yes, isn't that a cool program that he's
Cool
got
program.
going?
Talk about it.
Yeah, so it's called Madlit. And it's music, right? Music on State Street. He
Right.
does a lot. He's activated State Street. You know how many places have like festivals? It's kind of what he's doing on State Street. There's music, is it one night a week during the summer? But he organizes different bands all
Friday
over.
nights, I believe.
I think it's, yeah.
And it's at the Capitol end, and they close down a block of State Street, and it's all about diverse music and diverse community, and bringing talent that's diverse, and bringing the entire community together to celebrate this diversity.
And it's a university town, so it's pretty liberal. Madison is known as being pretty liberal, but the diversity is way deeper than you think.
Yeah.
And there's representation from all over the world. I mean, not just racially, but ethnically, and we're talking international students like crazy. And there's a way for people to get involved.
Yeah.
It was really a little better than I thought on State Street in terms of homeless people. And I will tell you this story. We did the site survey, and my friend Susan Borey and I went. And we were, like I said, we know Madison, but we went. There happened to be all the homeless people on State Street are really pretty harmless, can I tell you? So the students, everybody's used to them, they kind of like fit into the community. But there happened to be one lady on State Street the day that I site surveyed it who was singing at the top of her lungs the whole time I was there. And I kept saying to my friend, how am I ever going to get John to do this while she's singing Oklahoma in the background?
Did you come across her when you
No.
went? No.
No.
The power of kindness, and Lois spreads it everywhere.
Oh,
Everywhere.
Lois.
Oh. No, that was very nice.
No, it was
Very much.
a great episode.
That was
great
our season.
episode.
So we had 12 episodes. We finished with Madison, Wisconsin, the capital of the state that we live in, and it was a really great season. Season 3 of John McGivern's Main Streets. We will shoot our final episodes, episode 13, in studio, as I said, and I'd like to give our fan shout out for our last episode out in the field to Jeff McVeigh from Greeley, Colorado. What do you think of that?
All right, we're spreading our roots outside of the state.
We are. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, keep watching, keep listening. That's really fun.
We
Come to
will
the
look-
Midwest because we love it.
We will look forward to planning and getting season 4 underway.
That's right.
Thank you, John
Until
and Emmy,
next
for
year.
this season. You guys are the best to work with, and I just really appreciate you. You make my job easy.
Boy,
What was that again, Lois?
She
I
makes
might
our
not
job
be saying
easy.
that next May, but today, I love you guys. This
Love
wouldn't
you
be the
guys.
same.
Oh, love you both. Thank you.
Want to wear something that's going to support your favorite show? Shop at Main Street Store. Proceeds go to help us get next season into production, so come on, go shopping at mainstreets.tv.